Hello YouTube, One Piece chapter 1046 has been out for a week now, and I wanted to just take a break because chapter didn't excite me, and well, I thought there's not much to talk about until I sort of gained perspective from other YouTubers and gave it some more time to, let it shine in my head. So, thing I've realized is that I'm not really excited about the chapter. It's a decent chapter, not that amazing. Well, let's talk about it. So, chapter starts off with Luffy and Kaido mumbling, and Kaido saying that Luffy's food is not actually a paramecia, it's rather his own. So he's starting to pick up, and Zunisha says something about the rhythm being familiar, and he says that we should put our trust in this boy. So what that means is Luffy's not the literal Joy Boy, but rather him in this timeline, or something of that sort. He said it has something to do with fate. I'm not saying Oda has emphasized on fate a bit too much. We'll just have to wait, but it's starting to get a little meh because I'm starting to hate this thing that he starts to say that he is sort of a reincarnation, but not really, and it's been fated and whatnot. I'm not really liking this. I don't know where Oda's gonna take this, but this is literally the worst case scenario when it comes to Luffy's stage at this point. Is he a reincarnation? Was he originally fated to be Joy Boy, or what he actually is? That's very weird. To put it simply, I just wanted to end it with this point that, okay, Joy Boy and Luffy has the same powers. That's why Zunisha thinks he is Joy Boy, and well, Luffy is sort of the next generation, or the one that takes the mantle or the title of Joy Boy. It wasn't actually a person, it was just a title, and I guess that's it. That would be the safest thing for Oda to do, but he's Oda, he's a better storyteller than I could ever be. I'm just gonna wait and see how it plays out. As for the rest of the chapter, the reactions from the Straw Hats and everyone else inside the castle is a little too extended. There was a bit too much content I didn't think was needed, and well, it kind of felt boring, honestly. The hype dried out. Honestly, it did sort of dry out. And all those reactions were necessarily needed. The one thing that I do care about from those reactions was Apu and Ebi, the number. So, I think we've been seeing a bit too much of Apu and Ebi considering how low volume, considering how low profile they've kept all throughout. Oda has kept them all throughout the raid. They haven't been that prevalent, but they sneak in from time to time. I think Oda's gonna definitely do something clever with them. There's something that Oda has in store, and I think we have to wait and see. I think those two are very major characters that will play some significant role at the end of the raid, or at the end of Wano. So, moving on, the solution of the burning fire, the solution of the conflict that Oda has created, the solution was great. And Raizo being the one to sort of finish it off with whatever's happening inside is actually sort of fitting. It gives him sort of his redemption arc. He was being a coward about it when Odin was boiling in the water, in the oil, and Raizo complaining, and it sort of is a redemption that I understand what Odin felt, and it's my time to shine, and I'm not gonna let that happen again. It's sort of a redemption, but not really. But hey, it's a win for Raizo. Is he the MVP? Perhaps, maybe. Maybe if it wasn't for Raizo, the fire wouldn't have, it would have been extinguished at any point. And Oda came up with a very clever solution that Raizo took the water from Zunisha, and well, Zunisha played a very significant role. From all those time before, and Raizo now completing his redemption arc, I think now we'll start to appreciate Raizo a little bit. I don't know, but hey, it all worked out well, and I'm not complaining with that one. That one is actually very good. I was sort of shocked when I saw that Raizo was the one who's gonna set out the flames, but it sort of makes sense. When you connect all the plot points, it makes a lot of sense. Moving on. I don't have much thoughts to put inside the chapter, honestly. It's gonna be a very short video, so I'm just gonna end it off with Luffy holding lightning. Like, what the hell? Luffy literally wielding lightning? Did he create it? Maybe. Did he catch it from the air? Unlikely. But he has the epithet of the sun god. His devil fruit is the sun god, but he can create lightning. That is a little weird, honestly. If you were to ask me, that is very weird. Is it fitting that Luffy both has the power of both the Gum Gum and the Lightning Fruit? That is very weird, while having the epithet of Sun God. So I don't think we are supposed to take the epithet of Sun God quite literally. Rather, this is very confusing, honestly. When we first saw Luffy as the Nika and whatever Sun God powers, I expected him to have fire powers, sort of like Ace, sort of like a re-embodiment of Ace. Remembering him, his will, and everything that's been passed on, very fitting. But considering Sabo has already taken his place, and well, Luffy having the Sun God power, I expected that made sense. Why he could produce Red Hog and everything, and why he could sort of make himself steam up and go into the gear second. Now that he has lightning, I'm starting to second guess myself. I'm starting to second guess the whole story, honestly. I don't know what Oda has in still for Luffy. Like I said before in my video on Luffy's awakening being perfect, I think there's a lot more to Luffy's power than we originally think it is. His rubber properties sort of all make sense if you think about it. Everything he's doing with his rubber powers makes sense, but whatever he's doing with elements such as lightning right now doesn't actually make sense. I think these powers have to be explained a little further, and I feel like there needs to be someone who can explain it properly, other than Luffy. Luffy has no idea, has no clue. He still thinks it's the Gum Gum Gomi, which is not unexpected. Only the Gorosei know about it. Maybe Shanks knows a lot about it. I'm also going to talk about that in a future video. Probably my next video will be about Shanks, or maybe after the cover page, but we'll see about that. I think there needs to be someone who comes into play, like right after the Wano arc ends or something, and then explains Luffy's powers, or something similar of that line. There needs to be someone who explains it properly. We need to know the proper explanation of why Luffy can hold lightning and his powers with the Gum Gum, and it's all over the place. It was cool. It was definitely cool seeing Luffy holding lightning. It's very reminiscing of the fact that he beat a literal lightning god, and he himself is actually lightning while holding the only counter to lightning, which is rubber. I don't know how to put this. I like it. I'm not gonna complain about his powers. If he can control all full elements, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think there needs to be a proper reasoning for this, or maybe there needs to be some sort of a background check with Nika or something. Nika has definitely been a deity in the One Piece world, and I feel like we need to know more about Nika in order to understand some of Moro's Luffy powers. And I think we're gonna get that very soon. Thank you all so much for listening. Until next time, peace.